Hey guys, so I thought I would make this quick video because I get a lot of people who message me asking, how do I find love? How do I find my soulmate? How do I find my future partner? Um, People who are single, who don't know how to get out of the cycle of being single and find someone that they can share their life with. Tarot can be an amazing tool to help you on your path of finding love. And in this video, I'm going to just give like a brief breakdown summary of my approach as a professional tarot reader, my approach when it comes to helping my clients find love and what I do. This is my method. I have been working on this method for the last 10 years. It's kind of taken its own evolution based off of trial and error. And a lot of my clients I read for over the years, and it's been so amazing to see how my tarot readings have helped my clients find love that are now, in happy relationships today. I even got invited to a wedding from one of my clients, which was definitely like a highlight for me. But okay, so if you book a session with me and you want to know how do I find love, this is kind of my format that I've found that has worked for me and my clients. First of all, instead of pulling cards about finding the other person, we want to focus on you first because you're the first person that you meet, right? You are your responsibility. And when it comes to love, we typically have things within ourselves that we have to work through and understand and grow into if we want to be in a mature, committed relationship. So right off the bat, I will pull cards on my client to explore their personality, who they are. You would be amazed and shocked if you realized how many adults still don't know who they are. And they walk around life, they're constant people pleasers. They walk around life putting on different masks, suppressing their true emotions, suppressing their true personality, trying to please others around them. For a lot of people, this starts in childhood. They're trying to please their parents or the adults around them. And so they never quite become themselves. And as a result, how that negatively impacts your dating life is you never truly bring your authentic self to the relationship. And in the beginning of a relationship, you can fake it for a little while, but then over time, you start feeling inauthentic and you start falling out of love, or you just can't keep up the charade anymore. And a lot of people just do this automatically. A lot of people don't know who they are. Who is their true self? What is their essence? Because if you're really wanting a serious, committed relationship, you need to be very solid in your sense of self and your essence, because your essence is what you're bringing into the relationship. That is who you're looking to find a partner to. And if you've been suppressing that or lying to yourself or denying it, or you're afraid, or you haven't spent time really developing your own personhood, then that's definitely the first thing that I want to tackle in a tarot reading. Is we want to explore spiritually, who are you? What is your essence? And how do you grow and get comfortable with your own self? Because if you're not comfortable with your own self, how can you expect someone else to be, right? So the first part of finding love is about finding who you are. So that's the first part of the reading. The second part of the reading is, okay, now we found out yourself, we found out your essence, we work through self-acceptance and self-love techniques. Everybody is different. Some people, this phase of the reading is really quick. For other people, it takes days, okay, or weeks or months. So everybody is different, all right? So first is self-love and self-knowledge. And next, we want to work through blockages. Excuse me. I'm trying to make this video so quick. Next, we want to make out blockages or self-sabotaging behaviors that you might do consciously or subconsciously that sabotage your ability to find love. Everybody has this. Everybody. We all do it because love is scary. Falling in love means putting ourselves out there. It means being vulnerable. It means trusting someone. And we all have baggage that rears its ugly head, and we need to make sure that we know how to deal with that. And everybody is different. So the second part of my tarot reading is about going through any blockages that you need to work through, any maturity gaps that you need to overcome, any self-sabotaging behavior that you have to work on. Like I said, everybody is different, but you can't get into a committed long-term relationship if you don't have the tools to stay in that relationship. I see a lot of people, they think like, oh, well, once I have the wedding, once I find my Prince Charming or my princess, then everything will be okay. And the reality is that relationships take two people. And these are two imperfect people, people that are still growing and learning and maturing every day of life. And you don't want to bring your own faults into a relationship and expect your partner to fix them for you. You want to try to be as whole as possible when you come into a relationship so that you're not dumping your problems or your bad behavior or your self-sabotaging actions on the relationship. This can come out as like poor communication skills, lack of empathy, not understanding compromise. I tell my clients all the time, nobody comes out of the womb knowing how to be in a relationship, okay? Everybody has to learn how to be in a relationship. And for a lot of us, if you didn't have good role models growing up, you don't know how to be in a relationship. You didn't learn how to be a good partner, how to support love in your life. So that's phase 2, is building and growing, cleansing your blockages, making sure you don't do any self-sabotaging behavior. That is phase 2 on how do you find love. Now, phase 3 is when it gets to the more exciting part, right? So phase 3 of the reading, now you feel like you know yourself, you know your essence, you know your person, you've accepted yourself, you've loved yourself, you've worked on your blockages, you've learned how to be a good partner, you've learned your self-sabotaging behavior and all that stuff, like you are good to go. So then the third phase is I pull cards to find out who is the right person for you. If we were to describe them, what would they be? This is super important because if you are dating, intentionally dating, you need to have like a clear vision in mind of what you're looking for. And again, everybody is different. We're all different. But what I see with a lot of women who are like, or men too, people who are like confident, who know themselves, who've been working, they've done the hard work, and then they go out into the dating world and they just say, I just take the first date that comes along. They just date whoever gets sent to them, whoever is attractive. And they're so desperate and hungry for a date that they don't date with intention. They don't date with discernment, is what I want to say. And as a result, you just end up like it's a random guess, You're like, oh, well, the person I'm dating, they've got some pros and cons, and I guess I'll figure it out, but I'm just so tired of being alone that I guess I'll find a way to make this work. I'll find a way to love them. And that doesn't work because you are your own unique individual. And the person that you are going to invite to spend your life with needs to be someone that you select with intention and desire and choice. It needs to be something that you say to yourself, yes, you have what I'm looking for. Yes, our goals align, our values align, our personalities are compatible. I am selecting you to be my life partner because not only do I love you, but you also bring additional elements to the relationship that match my requirements, okay? So the third part of the reading is I will work with the client to go through their goals, their values, their lifestyle, their personality complements, their weaknesses, and we will make basically a profile of the type of partner that they're looking for. And we will list it out. And it's, you don't have to follow it like rigidly, but it tells you basically your personal standards of what you should expect, accept, or reject when it comes to a partner. And this is so, so, so important because a lot of people have never been taught what their personal standards are. People will go around saying like, well, my personal standard is she's got to be an 8 out of 10. Or some people say, well, my personal standard is he's got to be, 6'1" and make 6 figures in finance or whatever. Like that's not going to bring you love and happiness. Those are superficial crap that society tells people that's going to make you happy. When I'm working with my clients to find love, our focus is how do you take your soul essence, heal yourself, become whole, and have a compass to point yourself in the direction of the type of love that you need to be focusing on. There is 8 billion people in the world. 8 billion. You literally do not have enough time in your life to get to meet all these people. You have to be discerning. You have to be picky. You have to know what you're looking for. And if you don't know what you're looking for, you're just going to take whatever comes your way. And unfortunately, what I see is, there's bad relationships, and you can pretty much tell a bad relationship right off the bat. But the mediocre relationships are the ones that actually cause the most damage. The mediocre relationships are like, it's not bad. And actually, you start off like in the beginning, the hormones, the honeymoon stage, you actually think like, wow, I'm really excited about this person. And then after the honeymoon stage wears off, it kind of like sinks into mediocrity, and it's not love. It's just like, well, they're not bad, but I'm not happy. And I guess I'll figure this out. And those end up being way more destructive because they end up taking up our most precious resource, which is time. Time. You don't have time. Like once it gets spent, it's spent. And every single year that you waste in a mediocre relationship where you're like, they're not bad, but they're not great, that is time that you're losing in your life. And so making sure that you have an intention, sorry, I have a sore throat this week. Making sure that you have an intention, that you have discernment about the type of person that you want, that is phase 3. And I work with clients to give them the tools that they need to say, okay, this is what I should be looking for. This is what my future love needs to kind of fit. This is like such a great, this is like one of my favorite phases. But yeah, we do a lot of breakthroughs when it comes to what does love mean and what is value, and how teaching people how to recognize character in others. I find, especially with women, they have women who've been single for a long time, they have a really poor judge of character. And they come to me and they're like, I don't know why I've just dated just awful men. And I'm like, well, it's because you've never been taught on how to look for a good man. You haven't been taught how to look for the right man. And that is phase 3, is how to find not just a good man, but the right man for you. And so I do that both with men and women. But so then phase 4 of the reading, which is again really fun, is I'll pull cards on, okay, where would you find this person? Where are you going to find them? And what kind of circles do you need to be in order to increase your chances of finding your person, your future love? I am a huge proponent that you're not going to find your love sitting on your couch, right? You have to go out in the world. You have to be interesting. My husband and I dated, we met each other before social media, like before Tinder, before all this stuff. And while I see online dating as a great tool, a great benefit, you can't just spend your time online dating. You have to build a community. You have to have hobbies. You have to have a life. And when we start cultivating a life, we start connecting with other people, we start meeting other people, then we now have a life to invite someone in. We have a life that we can share with somebody. Having hobbies, having friends, having things that you enjoy outside of work is it's the environment that you make to invite someone else to share your life with you. If you don't have a life, right? If you don't have like a hobby or a dream or a goal or something, and you're just floating on by waiting for your future partner to come and fulfill your purpose, that's not very healthy. And most people don't want that. Most people don't want to be your life. They want to be invited into your life. And now that you know the person that you're looking for, you can expand your interests and focus your interest to be in those social circles, be in those community circles, to have the best chance of meeting that person, or if you meet them online, have the best chance of finding commonalities and connections and having a space to invite them into your life that they want to be in. Here's an example, okay? So if you're a woman looking for an athletic man, right? You want someone who cares about their health, and that's a big deal to you. But you don't do any sports, you don't do any activities. You walk your dog in the morning and that's it. Well, where in your life is a space to invite that athletic man that you're wanting? And I would work with my clients to be like, hey, what kind of athletic man are you looking for? Let's find the social circles that he would naturally be in, right? So let's say we find out that she wants someone who is athletic and adventurous, someone who is interested in like a team sport like rock climbing. Let's just say that, like, this is a hypothetical example. So then I would encourage my client, like, hey, if you develop rock climbing skills and you develop that part in yourself that you naturally want to, that's part of your essence, but you just haven't committed that to your life. You haven't made that a priority in your life. Making rock climbing a hobby, making that a part of your life, now you're creating a space to invite that future partner to share in that with you, to share in that that hobby, that life with you. And you also are bringing skills and experience to the relationship. You're bringing a bridge for you and your partner to connect on. And that is so important, because it's not just us making like a really great Tinder profile and shooting sexy pictures. If we really want to build like a long-lasting, solid relationship with someone, we have to have our own personal life that they want to be invited into. And we need to build connections based off of what we imagine our ideal partner, or what we're looking for. Like, what are those connections? So that's phase 4 of the reading, where we'll pull cards and say, like, what is their interest? What is the social circles and community circles that we need to be in, that we need to engage in and develop within ourselves, so we can make a life worth inviting someone else into. And those are like the 4 primary building blocks that I tackle with my clients when they come to me for a reading on how to find love. It is not a quick thing. It is not a quick thing, because a lot of us, like I said, we're not born knowing how to have a relationship. We don't come out of the womb ready for our true love. Like, we have to actually work on this. And I'll make another video, but I don't actually believe in soulmates. And the reason why is because love is based off of free will. Free will. Free will, you have to choose to be in a relationship with someone. And if you believe in the concept of a soulmate, then you don't believe in free will. Then basically you're saying the universe has pre-made this person and they're destined to be with me. And I'll make a whole other video about the problematic and toxic things that I have seen in clients because of these beliefs. But basically, if you want to find your future life partner, it has to be built off of free will. You have to choose to heal and work on yourself. You have to choose to have discernment and find the right partner. And you have to choose to build a life worth inviting your love into. And these are things that you have to do. And I see so many people, they sit on their couch and they swipe on their phone and they say, I'm just waiting for the universe to send me, Mr. Right or Mrs. Right. And it's like, no, this is about free will. This is about you taking action and you taking an active role in your own love life. For some super lucky people, specifically Disney princesses, for some people, Mr. Wonderful just la-da-da strolls up on their castle and they, have a perfect relationship and, live happily ever after. And I think that that's great. And I love, if you are one of those people, then I love that for you. But the reality is that doesn't happen to the rest of us. For the rest of us, we actually have to take our own free will and choose to be in love. We have to choose to make a life worth loving. We have to choose to actively find and work and invite love into our lives. And that's what my tarot readings are all about when it comes to how to find love. And like I said, this has been something that I've developed over a decade plus with my clients, and it has had the most success. A lot of my clients, like I said, I read for over the years, and I love it when they come back to me and they're like, your reading was spot on, and let me show you this guy or gal that I'm dating. Like, I love it. This is what I have found to be the most beneficial and the most sensible when it comes to how to find love. And it is empowering and it is active, and you don't have to sit around feeling like you're powerless or you're the victim to just the universe, waiting for the universe to send you true love. This is about you telling the world that you are ready to sustain a mature, committed relationship. Anyway, I'm running out of time because I gotta go, so I'm gonna wrap this up here. But if you do want to book a Finding a Love tarot session with me, I'll link my website below, but that would be the phases that I would go through. Depending on who you are, and everybody is different, depends on how long this takes to work through. So I can't guarantee that it'll be in one session or 5 sets. Everybody is different. But that is my technique. If you come to book a session with me, those are the focuses that I tackle on with a client. They're intense and they are, they're focused. And that's what I found that works best for me. So anyway, I hope this has been helpful. And you guys have a great day. Bye.